I'm Sandra from Virtual City Tours and I'm very happy to welcome you here in St. Gallen. Antoinette is going to show you all sights and some hidden gems.
Thank you, Sandra. On behalf of St. Gallen Bodensee Tourismus, I am very thrilled to show you around our lovely city. Let's go, we start now. We will start our tour on the Drei Weihern, the three lakes, on the Freudenberg, the Hill of the Joy, where you have a fantastic view over the whole city of St. Gallen. Opposite is the Hill of the Roses, Rosenberg. There is also the University of St. Gallen and some splendid villas from earlier years. On the north, there is Lake of Constance. The Drei Weihern, the three lakes, is one of the popular places here in town where you can go for a walk or just relax or even take a swim in one of the three ponds. Now we go into town with our oldest means of urban transport, the little train called Müllegbahn. Please join me. Irish monk Gallus came here in the year 612 after Christ. Behind me, on the facade of the house, you see his picture with his symbol, the bear. Gallus decided to stay here and built his first hermitage. From this, 100 years later, the monastery of St. Gallen was founded. You see his figure behind me on the fountain. This place here is called Gallusplatz and it is the oldest place in the city of St. Gallen with the oldest houses, which have survived the big last town fire 600 years ago. The most important symbol of the former Benedictine monastery is the cathedral, which was built in the 18th century. The very big towers with the clocks are facing to the east to the former throne room of the Prince Abbot. He had the best view to the place of the monastery. Today, in the former throne room, is the seat of the government of the canton of St. Gallen. The very special color scheme of the interior, the superb ceiling paintings as well as the organs are a true splendor. The masterpiece in the cathedral are the choir stalls made of nutwood, a supreme example of its kind. Many sinners must have visited St. Gallen due to the 16 richly decorated confessional boxes. Since 1983, the entire Abbey district is a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site. And today, behind me, you see the sitting area and the stage of the Opera of St. Gallen, which takes place every summer. The Abbey Library of St. Gallen is Switzerland's oldest library and one of the largest and oldest monastic libraries in the world. The wooden decor, the books and the vault with its paintings gives the room its character. This hall is considered to be one of the most magnificent Baroque library rooms in the Lake Constance region. The medieval manuscripts, some of which are over 1,000 years old, together with the so-called plan of the Abbey of St. Gallen, Europe's oldest preserved construction plan, are among the treasures that can be admired here. Who would have thought that the city of St. Gallen turned its back to the very important monastery and became Protestant in the 16th century? The main Protestant church of St. Lawrence behind me, with its very colorful roof, was the main spot for the Reformation 500 years ago. The city of St. Gallen split not only religious, but also built a 10-meter high wall which enclosed the whole monastery. Today you can still see the remains from these times. Let's have a look down to the busy marketplace, a favorite meeting point with weekly markets. You can see the impressive statue of Vadian, known as the town doctor and mayor. He was one of the most important figures during the Protestant Reformation in St. Gallen. No wonder he is still present on the marketplace looking towards the monastery. Even today in St. Gallen there are 111 bay windows to visit and to admire. Each of them tells its own story and is decorated with animals, with angels, with figures from the Greek mythology, and are always very impressive. This is the camel oriel, the last rich oriel to be built and one of the most magnificent. It was carved over a period of 2 generations. Interestingly, the camels which gave the name to the bay window are missing. The bay window used to hang on another house until its demolition. Then, for a long time, the bay window disappeared before it was finally placed on the house you see here. Unfortunately, the centerpiece with the 2 camels is missing. Not because they are not native to our area, simply because there is no room on this facade. Nevertheless, this oriel is still a highlight to all who pass. And if you do want to see the camels, I recommend a visit to the Historical and Ethnological Museum in St. Gallen. This is my favorite square here in St. Gallen. It is on the Schmidgasse and the place is called Paul Grüninger Place, after a commander from the St. Gallen Cantonal Police. This place is a nice place to be, with coffees, and it invites you to have a drink or food or just to linger around. By the way, do you know our specialties, the 4 Bs? That's the bratwurst, the best sausage of whole Switzerland, with the Bürli bread, and for dessert a sweet called Biber. And for my thirst I drink a nice cold beer from the oldest independent brewery of Switzerland. Cheers! And the sausage, you will eat it without mustard or without ketchup. That's important. By the way, watching our local football club FC St. Gallen, which is also the oldest on the continent, it is a must to eat the typical St. Galler bratwurst. Okay, so enough eating and drinking for now. We go on in our tour and we take one of the most narrow lanes in the old city, the Schmidgasse line, into the shopping street, the Multergasse. Please come with me. In the heydays of the embroidery, St. Gallen had an economic boom and a lot was developed and built new in the town. One of the best examples from this time is the House of the Scale, Haus zur Waage, from 1904. Look at its decoration. You see the 5 heads on the facade. They are symbolizing the export to the whole world, to Oceania, to America, to Africa and Asia. And on the west facade, the European head. The head, symbolizing Europe, looks to the west, looking towards the largest market for embroidery, the United States. And Europe is accompanied by the sly fox and the wise owl. Further down, you see the motto of the St. Gallen merchants, Morgenstunde hat Gold im Munde, literally translated as the early bird catches the worm. Another evidence of the 19th century is the Embroidery Exchange building behind me at the Multertor. Its size and splendor shows that St. Gallen once was a mercantile place and a metropolis of the textile industry. Here, everybody who was involved with the embroideries making was meeting here at this place twice a week. Even the Greek god Hermes is sitting on the roof of the house in a boat, looking to the best marketplace, North America, and pointing with his stick over the ocean. Our textile museum, also known as the Palazzo Rosso, is famous all over the world for its priceless collection of beautiful material and embroidery. Its changing exhibitions attract many visitors, and the Textile Library is considered to be one of the 5 most important in the world. The Red Square is fascinating me every time I see it. Just look at the bright red color. And the red soft carpet is decorating the whole place. It is made by the Swiss artist Pipilotti Rist and Carlos Martinez, and the idea was a city lounge or a living room in the city with benches and tables which invites you to sit down and meet each other. You see the bubbles in the air. These are the lights of the Red Square. And during the twilight hour, they are shining in very bright colors of the rainbow. A very, very fascinating atmosphere. On the Red Place, there is also a hidden gem, the Synagogue of St. Gallen, in the Moorish Byzantine style from the 19th century. It reminds us that a lot of merchants were with the Jewish belief. And now, join me, we go to the edge of the red carpet, because there is a Porsche parked. And still now, people, young and old, are guessing if there is really a real Porsche underneath. The past with the textile history of St. Gallen is also presented in the fountain art. Behind me you see a bronze folded fabric, and the water which runs down very slowly is a pleasure for young and old. This is only one of several fountains in the city of St. Gallen. The 5-cornered station square here today is the heart of the public transport in St. Gallen. The building of the station in the new Baroque style was called the Cathedral of the Travelers, or the Gateway to the World 100 years ago, because the railway connected the city with the fashion cities in whole Europe. The post office was also built in the heydays of the embroidery industry. Oh, what time is it? When does your train leave? Can you read the binary clock behind me? If not, then I'm very happy to explain it to you next time, because there is so There are so many things to discover still in St. Gallen, like the Loch Remise, the museum quarter with the city park, or some architectonical buildings from Santiago Calatrava. We are very happy to welcome you soon in St. Gallen, and we are wishing you a nice trip. Bye bye! Was? Jetzt will ich noch etwas sagen. That was very important, the most important. Die binäre. Nochmal anfangen. Sorry. Oh, I made a mistake. Ich muss nochmal anfangen. Ich habe es falsch gesagt. Ja. Wir machen einen schnellen Tanz.
Genau.